Hey everyone, Brian from Selby Knives here. Just thought I'd touch base with everybody who bought the Lil Folsom knife off my Facebook. Just thought I'd just check in and give you guys an update on what's going on. Been posting some pictures on progress, and I thought a video would be a little bit better. So just want to show you, this is kind of the semi-final product. Still waiting for the black phosphate finish material to come in. I've done a couple of tests with some black oxide. Not really happy with the finish, so we're going with a better, more durable black phosphate finish. It'll have the the stamp and mark and everything on it. So this side will get the logo. It'll say Selby on it. Back side, it's going to say 01 tool steel, just so you guys are reminded what kind of steel it is. The steel is not stainless steel, so it's a carbon steel. It's really hard, holds an edge real well, fairly easy to sharpen, but it is gonna rust if you leave it out in the weather, if you leave it wet. So just a good idea when you do get yours, just put a little gun oil on it, or some oil on the blade. The rest of it's going to be protected with the phosphate finish, but it's going to have a little bit of an edge here that is sharpened, precision sharpened. Sucker's going to be real sharp. So just keep that in mind. So I've been working on these. I've got a stack of these done, finished grounds. They've all been sandblasted. Each of these have been spoken for. So if you're watching this and want one of these, you're going to have to get it in the second round of knives that I do. And I will be posting soon. I've got what I call the big brother to this. If you guys realize, this is the Lil Folsom. I've got one that's called the Folsom. So it's kind of the big brother to this. 11.5 inches long, similar geometry to it. So still has the thumb hole and a little bit bigger loop here for the finger, and it'll have a second finger loop. But generally the same style. It's going to have a bowed spine like this, flat on the bottom, but the blade's going to be 5.5 inches long, somewhere in that range, and almost 12 inches overall. So keep an eye out for that. Got a few tricks up my sleeve too. I'm going to keep these as a production knife, and I've got some that I'm planning for a limited edition. I'm going to try to get some Damascus and do a few of these in Damascus, and obviously Folsom and Damascus, Folsom Dam. I'd do a little play on words. That was kind of fun. So anyways, look for those coming soon. I've got a bunch out of heat treat. These have been heat treated and stress relieved, and got the finished grind on these. These are ready for sandblasting and black phosphate, and obviously a mark on them. I've got a bunch more all packaged up. You see these little foil packs here. This is a stainless steel foil, withstands 2,000 degrees, and I pop these in my kiln and I heat them up to about 1550. That's the temperature for tool steel that changes the molecular structure, so that when you cool it rapidly, all these molecules all tighten up together and makes this sucker really hard. So once that process is done, it takes about 30 minutes to soak in the kiln. I quench these in oil, and I cut them out of the bags, and then I pop them in another oven to sit for another couple of hours at about 450 to 500 degrees. And that just mellows things out. It weakens it a slight bit, but it makes the metal not so brittle. So you don't want a knife that has a real brittle metal, because you stick it in something, it's going to break. So we call that second process is you call it stress relieving, or yeah, I think that's the technical term for it. So you stress relieve the molecules so that the knife is more malleable, it's going to bend a little bit, it's more forgiving, and you're going to have a stronger, more durable knife. So I got 4 of these going in heat treating today, and I've got a stack here. Center lines all drawn on them, marked out, and I've been grinding away on this little guy. It's a 2x42 grinder. and it's got a half a horse motor. You know what? It's what I have, and it works great, but I can't wait to get my big grinder. So it's a 2x72. So these belts, instead of being 1 inch wide and 42 inches in circumference, they'll be 2 inches wide and 6 feet in circumference. The motor is going to be a horsepower, so I'm doubling the horsepower on it. I'll have a variable speed, so I can crank the sucker up and grind out rough grinds fast. I can slow it down for finish grinds, with finer material, so can't wait for that. It's actually in the mail. Chris Williams from Wilmot Grinders, you guys ought to check out his stuff. He's got some really cool knives. Chris, I begged and pleaded for him. He had sold out all his grinders after the Blade show, and I hit him up a bunch of times, and he got one together, and he's shipping it out. So it should be here in less than a week. And just waiting to put together and put that sucker to work. So excited about that. Also been working on the sheaths. As you might recall, I've been promising a Kydex sheath to go along with the knife. So developed this. I've been working on a few different ideas, but I think this one kind of rose to the top. It's kind of cool. I built a vacuum press. If you're not familiar with what a vacuum press is, kind of a big box with a rubber membrane over it and a frame, and you heat up this Kydex and it becomes really pliable, like a piece of rubber. You set the knife in it, you lay the Kydex over it, and it's like a flat sheet kind of draped over it, and you put the frame with the rubber membrane on it, and you put a vacuum to it, and it sucks everything down. So it creates these parts really nice. The other way to do it is a book press. It has some foam in there. It just wasn't giving me the quality that I was looking for. So these are coming together. Call these a neck knife. So when this is in the sheath, you'll get a ball chain lanyard with this. It goes around your neck. You pull it out, you got your knife right there. So that's the whole idea. You can also use some belt clips and put it on your belt. You could do it sideways, you pull it out, or upside down, or vertical. However you want. You can put it to your backpack, lash it on with some paracord, however you want to do it. So these are real versatile, and I like them. So anyways, that's the status update, and can't wait to deliver these knives to you guys, and want to make sure you guys are getting a good product. So it's taking a little longer than I thought, but I'm really happy with the progress. So message me on Facebook or hit me up with an email if you want to talk about it. I'm hoping to deliver these on the next week and a half, maybe 2 weeks max. So anyways, thanks.